Hello everyone and welcome. Why are arguments between a theist and an atheist? Because the theist is pretending that he knows there is God. The atheist is pretending that he knows there is no God. Both are believing. And belief is ignorance. Belief is an escape. Here, an atheist's belief is more subtler than theists. Neither the theist has tried to look into the whole of existence, nor has the atheist tried. What is the whole of experience? It consists of 1. Deep sleep, where body and mind are inactive. Dream 2. Body is inactive and mind is active. Number 3. Waking, where body and mind are both active. 4. Meditation. Body active and mind is inactive. I am state. 5. Enlightenment. Meditative state reflected in buddhi or mind in the midst of objects. I am that state. And the 6th one, pure being or God. Enlightenment state without a body, which is really not an experience. It is I, the stateless state. We may say that consciousness is simply knowing. It simply is. The first 5 states belong to consciousness in movement, and the 6th state belongs to consciousness at rest. And remember, all there is only consciousness. Both theist and atheist, being impartial to all of experience, the atheist's work is more difficult than the theist's work, because the theist is trying to find something, its presence, its existence. At least he has a hypothesis to work upon. The atheist has no hypothesis at all. He begins with the idea there is no God. Then what are you going to seek and search for? For no God? It is difficult to have the idea of what God is. It is more difficult to have the idea of what no God is. Perhaps the theist may stumble by chance on God, but the atheist cannot stumble on no God by chance, because no God simply means something absent. You cannot stumble on something absent. The theist at least has a possibility of transforming his belief into a hypothesis that I don't believe that God exists, but hypothetically I am assuming God exists and I will try to search for him. Well, what hypothesis can the atheist have? He is denying. Negativity cannot be the hypothesis. Positivity can be the hypothesis. The atheist is in more complex situation. Theism is a scientific approach. Atheism is not. But the atheist, in another way, is more comfortable on the surface. There is no God, so there is no question of doubt. You cannot doubt something which is not. You can doubt something which is or may be. But if you have decided there is nothing like God, you cannot doubt. You are more comfortable, but you cannot progress. The atheist has thrown away doubt far more deeply, far more profoundly than the theist. With the theist, the doubt is just hiding behind his belief. With the atheist, there is almost no doubt to hide. He has thrown the doubt very far away, very deep into the unconscious. Of course, you cannot get rid of doubt completely unless you know, but you can deceive. The atheist can deceive himself more easily than the theist. Hence, atheism has been growing, theism shrinking. An atheist's "prove me God" implies that God is separate from him, and the moment he considers himself separate from God, he has reduced God from infinity to a finite entity, which is a belief, which cannot be, because by definition, God, existence, is infinity, which precludes the existence of any second entity. When you say there is no God, you have already made up in your mind what it looks like, where it is, what its properties are. You have already have the belief system about God. You have already decided that God is not currently here. Since neither the theist nor the atheist has explored all of experience, it is wrong to conclude whether God exists or not. In order to avoid the fact that I am not interested in my own being, theists and atheists are creating all these questions and beliefs about God. Why? Because belief eliminates the need to think, discriminate, and inquire. To believe something means you don't know it, and yet you think you know it. Belief systems destroy the very possibility of knowing higher truths. These questions are strategies to avoid their central question: who am I? True religion consists in the inquiry: who am I? What am I? And what is the world? I is the closest thing to you, and nobody else can answer it except you. You need to dig deeper into your being. Therefore, the theist is wrong, the atheist is wrong, and man needs a new vision so that he can be freed from both the prisons. When you take a position that you do not know, the longing to know will arise within you. The seeking will arise within you, and then the possibility of knowing. God, by definition, as the absolute, must be ever-present, unchangeable, uncontradictory, and self-knowing, and thus is neither an object nor a person. It is the one that knows or illumines the objects. Once you start looking at God as the presence of love, there will be a radical change in your approach. Look at God as godliness, creativity, not as a personal and powerful God. Then, belief or faith is no more valid. Prayer is no more valid. Meditation becomes valid. Inquiry becomes valid. God will then be recognized as the intelligence behind life, flowing through life and expressed by life. God is simply consciousness, the all-pervading, non-negatable, and the non-reducible element of life. It is meaningless to argue God as this or that, or not this or not that. God consciousness is nothing, as in no thing, and God is everything. God consciousness is also nothing and everything at the same time. With infinite speed, you can be everywhere in zero time. This is action and at the same time no action. This is non-action. And that's where God is. Thank you.